Yes.
So last week we spoke about Wizards of the Coast and their attempts to wrangle more people or more money out of people with their open game license.
Hmm.
It seems like they have backpedaled, but because they said that they've made various conflicting claims. There was a claim that, oh, this was just a draft. We weren't totally done with it before. This was leaked out. We weren't going to do that. It was just an idea being bandied around.
Mm,
Huh. They really do want to get some sort of subscription model going with it.
yeah.
Like I've heard about some sort of D&D unlimited type service where it's like $20 a month to get certain access to certain things.
Mm,
Which that's funny because role playing is like it has a high upfront cost when you buy the rule books, but
mm,
once you've done that and you have some way of playing the game, like to represent the game, like I play games where it's all intellectual and there isn't a grid map, but you can print off your own grid map, and use popsicle sticks on stands to represent things.
yeah.
It's about the cheapest hobby you can do. They want to monetize it like it's Fortnite.
Jeez.
But they have backtracked on those financial requirements. Like, hey, we hear you. They're even trying to go like, uh, here's their actual statement from Kyle Brink, executive producer on D&D. First, though, let me start with an apology. We are sorry. We got it wrong.
Sorry.
Our language and requirements in the draft OGL were disruptive to creators and not in support of our core goals of protecting and cultivating an inclusive play environment and limiting the OGL to tabletop RPGs. Then we compounded things by being silent for too long. We hurt fans and creators when more frequent and clear communications could have prevented so much of this. Starting now, we're going to do this a better way, more open and transparent with our entire community of creators, with the time to iterate, to get feedback, to improve. If this sounds familiar, it's because how we do it for the game itself. So let's do it that way for OGL too.
Bullshit.
Yes. Any changes to the OGL will have no impact on at least these creative efforts. Your video content, your accessories for your own content, non-published works, VTT content, DM's Guild content, your OGL 1.0A content, your revenue, your ownership of your content. That's all from you now. And there was a thing where they said that we all won because that we'll be better now. It's like,
Okay.
no, you lost. You,
Yeah.
you got shamed. You were caught being greedy, and now you
Mhm.
have the fan base for a D&D movie on Twitter trying to boycott the D&D movie.
Yeah. And Ninja Toe mentions here. He says, "You need the player's handbook, which is $50."
Right, but if you compare the player's handbook, so it's like I think to really play the game well, you need a player's handbook. I think there's a separate Dungeons Master's handbook, depending on the edition. It's been a while since I looked into it. And then there's like some sort of bestiary, so you have some monsters to fight. You get
Uh,
those together, like even if you were buying it for full price, we're talking like $150 for 3 books, and you can
mhm.
get going. And then that's something where in theory, you never have to pay another dime again.
Ah,
And yeah, and there's like a whole bunch of nonsense. Holy Ninja points out there were rumors of people either being fired or jumping ship because of this OGL stuff. And now they're backpedaling because now some other publishers are making a much more expansive open game license, or an actual open source game thing that there's no chance of anybody trying to claw it back.
yeah, yeah.
Oops, you done fucked up.
Exactly. Yeah.
This would be like if Microsoft hadn't backed down from trying to double the Xbox Live cost a few years back.
Mm,
Uh,
yeah.
uh, except that with the CC people in charge of Dungeons and Dragons, the reason you can't monetize Dungeons and Dragons like Fortnite is because it is not a video game.
Right. It is. Yes. Yes. It is a tabletop game.
Yes, The way you monetize your tabletop game is you make up new things and sell them, or you put Dungeons and Dragons logos on a t-shirt and sell that, or you partner up with a video game company and sell them a license to make a Dungeons and Dragons game set in Neverwinter or whatever, a thing that you own. You
Yeah.
make novels, you make figurines so that people, and maps so that people can play the game more easily. You make modules, and you have to accept that a certain number of people are going to make their own modules that just plug into your game and you don't see a red cent, because that makes a strong ecosystem.
Yes.
You aren't a proprietary hardware platform. Hasbro cannot treat you in Magic the Gathering the way that Disney treats the parks to make up for shortfalls elsewhere.
Yes. It doesn't work that way.
Yep. They almost made it work with Disneyland backstopping all of the billions of losses on Disney Plus, but the Wizard of the Coast is a different beast.
Yeah.
You can burn out the fan base just the same way that they're burning out the Disney park fans.
Yep. Yeah. Even Games Workshop knows this. Yeah.
And he said, what he said before was, tabletop games are funded by products, not subscriptions. That's it exactly. Everybody wants subscription model revenue, and there are some products it makes sense for, and some products it just fundamentally doesn't.
Right. Yeah.
The one thing I could see a subscription making sense for would be, they might even be that Dungeons and Dragons subscription service I was talking about before. If you had something you could like bring up on Steam or in browser or whatnot, that was a cloud-based game table for people playing remote, that I could see people plunking down the money for.
Yeah.
But it's like how people are fighting back against, no, I am not going to pay a subscription service to keep using my dishwasher or my car. Screw you. That is hardware, not software.
Exactly. Yeah. 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 They don't seem to have a very good grasp of their own product.
Well, I think they brought in a new executive who was told to monetize the crap out of it in much the same way that you can't sell a meaningful number of comics charging the same amount as a physical comic book, because some shop owner in California got pissy and got a bunch of Facebook comic shop owners to dogpile on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Ninja Toe makes a very good point. Gas is already a subscription service.
Does it technically count as a?
Well,
it's a non-proprietary subscription service.
Yeah. The money you spend is going to the oil and gas company. It's not going to the car company.
Right. In fact, the car company, the rat bastards, have all the incentive in the world to make you use as little gas as possible, because that'll make you want to buy their car.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But but yeah, this is obviously just a huge mess for Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast, and they're it's horrible timing too, because they got the movie coming out, and
and the TV
show. Although I will say I didn't have really high hopes for either one of those.
I'm probably gonna still end up seeing the movie, so that'll be my thing of the week one of these weeks. But when it comes out, but it is not helping. And also, Paramount Plus, you just have the worst luck when it comes to geek properties. Between Star Trek, Halo, and now Dungeons and Dragons, you guys are cursed. Stick to straightforward action stuff like Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, exactly. Ninja Toe says he thinks the movie looks fun.
Yeah, I think that I think there's a reason. Here's the other thing. So we talked about how we were surprised at how well Avatar's done, because it doesn't appeal to normies. Or actually, it does appeal mostly to normies.
Yeah.
That movie could appeal to normies well enough, because like, oh, it's a name I know. Well, that looks fun. Okay, sure. Let's give this a shot. Or I used to play Dungeons and Dragons when I was in high school. Yeah, sure, I'll go try out a movie.
Yeah. Well,
So it could
yeah.
be that plumber fantasy in the same way that Avatar is plumber sci-fi.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully they don't still have the bad taste in their mouth from the last Dungeons and Dragons movie.
That's true.
And Ninja says, "Is Paramount at least have other shows that are decent, like Transformers or Spark?" I haven't watched that yet.
I don't know that I want to. What I
Yeah.
think I've kind of realized with Transformers is that I'm pretty strictly. I care about Beast Wars and Beast Wars accessories. I'm not even sure if I want to go see that live action movie coming out this year about Beast Wars.
Mm,
Like I've tried a variety of times. What I've kind of realized is that now this is Ninja. I don't. I'm not. This is no knock against you or anything. I just think that I didn't grow up with Transformers enough to care about it.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Paramount Plus has other good stuff like the new Beavis and Butthead,
Yeah.
and it's got Tulsa King, which I recommend 4 episodes in.
Hmm.
I haven't gone back to watch more of it because Persona 5 has been dominating my life. One more encounter. Got to get to the next safe room.
Yeah. Yeah. It does that. Yeah. Yeah. It pulls you in and it won't let go.
I've had a lapse in my publishing schedule and editing time because
Yeah.
of Persona 5. Okay.
Yeah. He's not a.
Okay. Just I just wanted to be clear. There's no knock against people who are super Transformers nerds. I
Mm.
I realize you ever watch something and you realize, holy crap, is that what people who don't like this thing I love think it is?
Mm.
That's kind of been my real like a while back when someone was trying to explain the Fate Night lore to me. Like, oh, the
Yeah.
convoluted order you have to play the games in. It's like not very good fiction to start with. It's like,
Yeah.
holy crap. Is this what it sounds like when I talk about Marvel comics to people who don't know anything about it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the other one was like when I watched episodes of Doctor Who and it's like this is important to people? Why? Holy crap, is this what it's like when I talk about Star Wars with people who don't like Star Wars?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh no.
yeah, I have this. I get the same way with Star Trek. I'm like, I describe Star Trek to people, and they kind of look going, yeah, all right, yeah,
But no, it's really cool.
yeah.
You got to understand.
But Star Trek is it's laced with allegory and subtext, and
Beam me up, Scotty, right? That's that show.
yeah.
And then you die a little inside.
Yes. And Ninja Toe says he's a Unicron era fan, except for Energon.
So the 2000s animes.
Yeah. Um, I watched some of the original, whatever it was, Generation One, because my brother was really into Transformers.
Mhm.
He had all the toys, and so I watched some of that, and then I watched Transformers Prime, which was okay.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was the one that that was the one that came out at the same time as My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic, and
Mm.
Hasbro was kind of surprised that they had more male audience for My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic on the same network.
Yeah.
Wait, what just happened?
Yeah. What? Yeah. But yeah, that's just the way it goes sometimes, and
Yep. But I think that what we're seeing is the continuation of the kind of collapse of a bunch of unsustainable business models
mhm.
in quick succession, and people trying to and the failure of people to force certain other business models to come into existence.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and hopefully people will come to their senses and not do that anymore.
Holy crap, Daniel! You know what I just realized?
What?
There is a subscription model for Dungeons and Dragons that is staring them right in the face. That would
Mm.
be really easy to set up. So
Oh.
Ninja Toast spoke earlier about how one of those books, like one of those starting books, costs $50.
Mhm.
Think about all of the different editions and like all the different editions, rule books, and everything else that exist
Yeah.
out there, like all the different modules and things like that. Now they stopped doing digital copies because they realized people were just scanning them and sharing them, it being an RPG.
Yeah.
But imagine if you had a subscription service where you could, like, that was kind of like closed off like Kindle or Nook, where it's like, okay,
Mhm.
it's $5 a month. You get access to everything in fifth edition. Or if you want everything in fourth, or this much for everything in fourth edition, this much for everything in third edition. Whatever you want to play, you have
Ah.
access to it.
Hmm.
That's a little less convenient because, and it's like it's per person. So it's like, if you have 5 players at a table, they're each paying their $5 a month. It might encourage them to pony up and buy a book,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
it's a way so that you can you can digital distribution, so it costs very little to distribute those PDFs or other files. You're making less money, or I should say it's a steady drip income
Mhm.
that over time would, in theory, make up for a loss of sales in the books, and it would make it so that if you wanted somebody, if somebody wanted to make something obscure, but the book is out of print, they can just go subscribe to the service.
Yeah.
If this doesn't already exist, you idiots, that's
Yeah.
how you would have gotten people used to paying a subscription service to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes. Yeah.
But
And
so you're
uh,
asking them to expand D&D Beyond. I've heard of D&D Beyond. Haven't played RPGs in years, so I don't know what it actually entails. But if that is what it is, then okay, they're less idiots than I thought they were.
yeah.
But it sounded like it was more nickel and dimey and stupid than that.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, what you were just proposing makes too much sense right now, and I don't. There
I
aren't enough
guess.
people in there who don't know what sense is.
Yeah, D&D Beyond is an official tool set for fifth edition. Create characters in seconds, build and run combat encounters on the fly, and start your collection of official books with. Okay, so it seems to sort of already exist.
Hmm.
Okay, and it's okay. The reason I didn't hear about it is because my COVID killed my D&D group, and all the articles from here are from 2022. So okay,
Huh.
um, cool.
Yeah.
Then they're doing something right, I guess.
Well.
Never
Oh,
mind.
oh,
I'm
yeah.
not as creative as I thought I was.
Oh. Well. Although from when I
Okay, D&D
yeah.
Beyond is a subscription service to host unlimited characters. You still have to
Okay.
buy digital copies of the books. Okay, so my idea is clever.
Yeah. Definitely not $5. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, see, I'm showing my out of touchness with the RPG space.
Well. Well, it could work for another RPG game.
Yeah, though I think that Dungeons and Dragons is about the only one that has the breadth of content to make that worthwhile.
True. Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah. Well. All right. Well,